You're watching First Alert 7 News at 9 on the CW and live on YouTube with Lauren Munt and weather with Tom Tiefertiller.
Just turn heads and it makes them, some are scared and some are used to it. But a lot of the community does, they do offer water, Gatorade for the inmates when they see them out there.
In case you didn't know, the Ector County Sheriff's Office has a work program that allows current inmates to get out into the community and give back while they're also serving their time. We take a look at this program coming up in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us for First Alert 7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you joining us live from our YouTube. I'm Laura Munt, and our top story tonight involves changes into the immigration process that could affect how some applicants can obtain residency. This all stems from an executive order by the Biden-Harris administration. The goal is to streamline the immigration process, by not making applicants travel back to their home country while they're in the middle of trying to immigrate.
For those seeking residency, it's very important because they won't have to be out and separated from their children and their wives. And if they're employed in the United States, creating benefits and creating more jobs and opportunities here in the United States, well, the United States doesn't lose a vital worker for that long either. So this is a win-win for everyone.
This new two-tier process allows applicants to obtain parole in place, followed by an adjustment of status within the United States.
As we've seen in the past, family separation is incredibly traumatic, not just for the parent, but also the child. By removing this step, which is essentially a barrier for many immigrant families, you are simplifying the process and ensuring that children won't have to be separated from their parents.
This method is also now more affordable and faster since it's online. More information on the process can be found up on our website, firstalert7.com. And across West Texas, Representative Tony Gonzalez has introduced a new piece of legislation called the Border Weather Resiliency Act. It would require Customs and Border Protection to assess and submit a strategy to mitigate the impacts of extreme weather on CBP officials and their equipment. Representative Gonzalez says this new act helps identify ways that we can better protect Border Patrol and CBP officers from harsh weather conditions. And today was the last day to file for the 2 Midland City Council races on this year's ballot. On the ballot for at-large, we've got John Burkholder, Eric Davidson, Rance Norton, and Robin Poole. Meanwhile, on the ballot for District 1, Heather Bredmus and Brian Stubbs are running. And as a reminder, the following are important dates regarding the November 5th, 2024 election. The last day to register to vote is October 7th, first day of early voting is October 21st, and the last day of early voting is November 1st. And the ballots are final here in Odessa, too. This year's mayoral candidates are Cal Hendrick and Javier Hoven. Denise Swanner and Craig Stoker are on the ballot for the at-large seat, and Eddie Mitchell and Mark Mata are running for the District 1 seat. Stephen Thompson is the only official candidate for the District 2 seat, but Nayli Urias has submitted an application as well. A boil water notice is currently in effect for the city of Kermit. This began yesterday evening when residents were experiencing low water pressure on the north side of the city. According to Mayor David Holbrook, several mechanical and electrical issues happened simultaneously, and the pumps had to be restarted. The mayor says there are no known leaks for the exposure to the water supply at this time. Samples will be taken today to determine how long the notice needs to last. We're going to take a pause now and talk your weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller. Tom, hot start to the week. Is it going to continue?
Oh, yes. We're probably going to see some of the hottest temperatures of the year so far later this week. Today, we got a pretty good jump start. Another triple-digit day with 100 out at the Miller National Air and Spaceport. Big Spring up to 103 degrees, 102 in Pecos. And we are looking at triple digits. 100 there in the Fort Stockton area. There's a look at that super blue moon we have out there this evening with a few clouds to deal with right now, but that'll clear up a little bit later on as temperatures are still on the hot side out there into the 90s across many areas, but everybody's out of triple digits, so good news there. As we take a look at current winds, we are seeing those out of the southeast up to 10 miles an hour, so not cooling us off too much. Just a touch of breeze out there, and it's a warm evening as we'll see things only drop down into the mid to upper 70s overnight tonight. The worst of the heat is yet to come, and we'll talk about that coming up here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. We're looking in the community now, where recently a group of inmates painted this space for the Boys and Girls Club of Odessa. This work is all thanks to a work program that allows inmates to work in the community while also serving their time. Most of the time, you'll see inmates out on roads picking up trash, but some other jobs that they can volunteer for include mowing lawns and adding to local art.
Their job requirements is mowing grass, washing cars, painting buildings, painting. I have every now and then I get an artist and they'll do artwork either at the sheriff's office inside the jail or at some other part of the county that we might need an artist at.
There are quite a few inmates that are eligible for this work program, but because of a jailer shortage, not all of them are eligible to be able to get out and help. That's something that Ector County Judge Dustin Fawcett hopes to change.
I wish we could have more, and we're working on that to where we could have more and really get out and about in the community. And that comes down to staff, and we're working on that. And these are folks who have really earned their status there, have proved themselves to be worthy of being able to do these things.
If you're a part of a local nonprofit that's in need of any volunteer work, you can contact the Ector County Sheriff's Office to learn more about the inmate program. In Midland, veterans and first responders gathered together to support each other through a free barbecue hosted by the Midland County Sheriff's Office. Ribs, sausage, and all the classic barbecue fixings were available at the MCSO barbecue for local heroes across West Texas to enjoy.
It's been good. Having some people come in from Pecos County, I heard today, and maybe some far as other West Texas communities. And we need to have that camaraderie between one another and let us know that we do care about each other and our community cares about us.
This was the first time that MCSO has hosted a meal like this, but Sheriff Kreiner says that he hopes they can make this an annual event. Let's talk some local sports now, where the Balmorhea Bears have a new leader at the top with Abel Garcia as the new head coach as he replaces legendary coach Vance Jones. Jair Brooks Davis spent some time down in Reeves County to see what new head coach Abel Garcia provides. Jair?
I guess I could say I could bring a lot of experience. I mean, 28 years of being an assistant. First year as a head coach, so I don't have that experience, but a lot of experience and discipline.
That's Balmorhea's new head coach, Abel Garcia. Before taking the job with the Bears, he was a defensive assistant under Vance Jones, who led the Bears to the state championship in 2020. Garcia is honored to keep the legacy of Jones and Balmorhea going into the future.
It means a lot because, like I said, we're used to winning under Coach Jones and other coaches that head coaches that we've had here in the past. So it means a lot. There's a lot of stake there.
It means a lot to me because my brothers, my whole family, we lived there my whole life. And my brothers all play on this field. They went to state multiple times, and I'm hoping to help this team and lead it to state this year.
The Bears have two options to start at quarterback between Ian Villanueva and Mateo Martinez.
Ian Villanueva, he's on the shorter side, but he has good arm strength. He's smart and remembers the plays. Then we have Mateo Martinez. He's not as good an arm, but he's more accurate, and he's not afraid of contact.
Cameron Baeza and Joaquin Garcia will start at fullback and running back, with Ian Simmons at receiver.
Ian Simmons is tall. He's tall and he has great hands. Joaquin, he's pretty quick on his feet. Cameron, he's been with us for 3 years and he's been waiting his turn, so I know that he's ready.
Garcia is expected to play at safety, with Ezra Jackson and Monty Shackford controlling the defensive line. According to Dave Campbell's Texas Football, the Bears are expected to finish in first place of the district. But with the rich history Balmorhea has, going for another state title is the end goal.
You gotta put in that work. They gotta want it. All these guys have been coming in, putting that work and showing that they want it. But we lost a lot of size and a lot of what we had last year, and everyone thinks we're not gonna be as good, but we're ready to show and prove them that we are ready to play.
This morning, UTBB announced Scott Larson as the new Vice President of Athletics. Larson replaces Todd Dooley, who served from 2020 to 2024. Larson has experience. He served as the Director of Athletics at Lubbock Christian from 2019 until 2023. During his time, he oversaw 3 NCAA Division II national championships in women's basketball. UTBB is coming off of an outstanding year, with 7 teams making it to the NCAA tournament. Larson steps into a culture that he's trying to keep at a high level.
The coaches here have set a high standard. You look at obviously the athletic performance, the academic performance, and so you meet a standard, let's ratchet it up a little bit. Let's try and get a little bit better every day. Coach said, every day, let's get a little bit better, 1% every day, let's get better. We want to give our student athletes the opportunity to be competitive. Let's be honest, winning is fun. I mean, it's not at all costs, but winning is fun, and that leads to a good experience.
The Pecos community and beyond came together to honor the life and legacy of Terry Morse, a beloved swim coach and mentor, this past Saturday. Morse was born in Midland and grew up in Kermit and dreamed of being a swim coach since the age of 7. In 1985, she moved to Pecos, where she would spend the next 34 years shaping the lives of countless swimmers as the head coach of the renowned Pecos High School swim team. Under her guidance, the team achieved remarkable success, including multiple state championships. Morse also earned several Coach of the Year awards. We're going to turn to some oil and gas news now. The Environmental Partnership, an industry-driven group that works to address the environmental impacts of the oil and gas industry, has put out its 2024 emissions report. According to the report, in the last year, there has been a 10% reduction in flare volumes compared to 2022. There's also been a decrease in leaks. There are over 100 member companies. Coming up today is the super blue moon, and NASA officials say that the moon will look full for 3 full days. Meteorologist Sawyer McElroy will tell you more up next. Full moons happen at least once a month, but there is something super about this month's full moon. Meteorologist Sawyer McElroy has more on what makes it so super.
August's full moon, coming up on Monday, August 19th, is the sturgeon moon, and this is also a supermoon. A supermoon happens when there is a full moon at its closest point to Earth during its elliptical orbit. This is known as the perigee. At its closest point, the full moon can appear up to 14% bigger and 30% brighter than the dimmest moon of the year.
And it appears very large and very bright in the night sky compared to a normal full moon that people are used to. The kind of effects you see during a full moon, being able to go outside and have more visibility of all the things around you, that'll be increased.
Supermoons happen 3 to 4 times each year and always occur consecutively.
So we've been really fortunate this year to have an inordinate amount of supermoons than we normally have.
Visually, supermoons might be tough to detect, but they do have a strong influence on the tides, causing higher tides than usual.
you miss it on the 19th, you still have a chance to at least see it, very bright in the night sky on the preceding and following day.
The next 3 full moons will also be supermoons, with September's full moon happening on September 18th. That moon will also have a partial lunar eclipse. For First Alert 7 News, I'm meteorologist Sawyer McElroy.
We'll get outside and look east right now. You can see that super blue moon that's out there. We're going to have some clear skies for viewing it tonight, but overall, though, just sunny and hot. We'll talk about all that up next.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's take a look outside on our live iCam in Odessa, looking at that super blue moon right now rising in the eastern sky. Again, it's super because it's going to be about 25% larger than the normal full moon, so that's going to make it look like it's full for at least 2-3 days. And also, it's blue because it's the second full moon of this month, so a super blue moon here to end August. Right now, temperatures out there are on the warm side, if you can call it that, into the mid-90s out there for many locations. Trying to cool off down in the mountain areas. Marfa at 83, 84 in Fort Davis. Now, here's what's going on the weather makers right now. We are seeing that we do have, again, a large area of high pressure centered up right over the state of Texas and West Texas, really. And it's not going to move too much. In fact, it's going to strengthen a little bit for the rest of the week. So as that happens, we'll see temperatures climb to maybe the highest levels we've seen this year and up around 104, 105 degrees. So some hot stuff expected all across the state really here over the next few days. And not too much in the way of clouds. We do have a couple of high clouds. We can see that in the moonrise out there scooting across. But other than that, though, things are pretty quiet across the state. Temperatures were extremely hot, 107 at DFW, 103 in Austin, 102 in San Antonio. So plenty of triple digits covering up the state. 100 in Corpus Christi. When you added in the humidity, it felt like 111 degrees at one time this afternoon. 101 in Houston is where they topped out at. Now this futurecast shows, other than a couple of high clouds here and there, not too much to obscure your view of that super blue moon. We are going to see more high clouds in the forecast tomorrow. More sun, though, than anything else in our forecast, and nothing in the way of scattered showers and thunder showers, even back down into the mountain areas. Things look pretty quiet for the next couple of afternoons. So tonight it is going to be very mild, about the mid-70s is what we're going for, with light south winds. And then tomorrow, plenty of triple-digit heat back with us, all the way up to 106 in and around the Big Spring area. And this is just the start of things. The rest of the week looks rather hot. In fact, the worst of it will be Wednesday and Thursday into Friday. By late in the weekend, we should get out of triple digits and a little bit of a slight cooling, quote-unquote, trend as we roll in towards next week. Not much rain in the forecast anytime soon. Things look dry here over the next 7 days.
Across the nation, day one of the Democratic National Convention has officially kicked off in Chicago with a night full of speeches and a passing of the torch within the party. Security is tight for the event, which has also brought protesters to the city. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry has more.
Vice President Kamala Harris briefly took the stage on night one of the DNC to greet almost 5,000 delegates and tens of thousands of party faithful as the Democratic presidential nominee.
This is going to be a great week. And I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President Joe Biden.
But day one, themed for the people, also belongs to President Biden, who will deliver the keynote address after stepping aside in his bid for a second term.
It's such a dramatic change from 4 weeks ago.
Delegates say they're thrilled about the new ticket with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as vice presidential nominee.
I think the purpose of the convention itself is to get that momentum usually started, but they didn't need to start it. It was hot and heavy.
This is the 12th time Chicago has hosted the convention, including 1968, when the DNC brought violent protests, which overshadowed much of what was happening on the stage.
How many kids do you kill today?
To prevent a repeat, police are keeping demonstrators several blocks away from the venue and made a handful of arrests after some protesters pushed through a first-level offensive.
The whole world's watching.
Hello, Democrats!
The 4-day event will also feature speeches from former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton.
Good night, everyone.
Harris will be back Thursday to formally accept the party's nomination for president. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Chicago.
Harris and Waltz are already the party's nominees after an online vote, but a ceremonial roll call will still be held tomorrow. And the presidential candidates aren't the only ones that will be on the ballot in November. This also includes offices in the Senate, House, and both on the state and national level. State Supreme Court for Texas. With the election just 3 months away, Senator Ted Cruz opened his Dallas-Fort Worth campaign office. Cruz is a 2-term Republican going for a 3rd term in office. He's going up against Democratic candidate Colin Allred, and some of his priorities include making more jobs and border security.
The last 12 years, every day I've gotten up and fought for 30 million Texans. I'm proud of the job we've done together. My priorities, my number one priority is jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Look, Texans want to keep our families safe. At the end of the day, it's not complicated. It means you stand up for law enforcement. It means you put criminals in jail. Yes. And it means we need to secure the border now.
Dallas is the hometown of Cruz's opponent, Representative Colin Allred. And still ahead, hot temperatures call for some refreshing lemonade. Enjoy the chilled beverage tomorrow on National Lemonade Day. We're talking more about how you can celebrate next. All right, Tom, make sure you squeeze in some time for lemonade tomorrow. Did you get my joke?
Yeah, I did.
I was pretty proud of that. Well, that's because it's National Lemonade Day. The day is actually a whole campaign to teach kids the power of entrepreneurship through opening a lemonade stand. As for their profits, the kids are encouraged to spend some, save some, and share some. What a great way to learn how to make profits and cool everyone off with these hot temperatures.
Those are nice-sized lemonades you're making there, you know? Fresh
Those are like
lemonades.
fair lemonades where they Just squeeze the entire lemon in there, fresh.
Oh yeah.
Fair lemonade.
Well, that's what we need this time of the year because it's ridiculously hot. It's going to get hotter. We could be looking at some of the hottest temperatures of the year so far later this week. So you want to stay hydrated, stay in the shade, and limit your time outside.
And I'm just holding out for fall.
No,
we're almost
we all
there.
are.
Go get you some lemonade tomorrow to cool off. Thanks for joining us for CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.